Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Line Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I will be fighting a 2,000-point battle between my Genestealer Cult, whole bunch of blips, and Greg's Ultramarines. The story that we've got going on here is that the Indominus Crusade continues, and Guilliman is cleansing planets of their problem areas. And while this planet was blocked because of the Cicatrix Maledictum, a Genestealer Cult uprising occurred on this planet that had completely taken over the world, and Guilliman has arrived to hopefully cleanse it of the xenos problem and bring it back under control of the Imperium. This is going to be an ITC match. We are doing tournament prep. I'm going to ATC. As of recording this, I'm going tomorrow. I'm hitting the road tomorrow to go up to ATC. So we are doing, we're testing my ATC list, which is going to be the Genestealer Cult, and Greg's been working on his list here. He's still got some tweaks that he's working on, but this is pretty much the core of I think what he was looking at for his list. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. So both of us have some things in our list that don't necessarily like his big old gun cannons there. They're more for killing knights, not so much killing a bunch of acolytes. But that's the way it goes in a tournament. When you go on this, you try to figure out what happens, and your list has to be able to handle both if they're going to be able to survive well during a tournament. So it'll be interesting to see. But yes, both of these lists are meant to be highly tuned. They're meant to be very strong. And that's just the reality of what we're going with here. So understand that that's what's happening, and appreciate it for what it is. We're both going to have very tough lists beating into each other. We are also going to be playing the ITC rule. So all of the first floor of the ruins is line of sight blocking. So all those first floor windows you cannot see through for purposes of this game. And we are going to be doing the ITC Champions mission number 3, which is Nexus Control. So there are 4 objectives. 1, 2, 3, 4. And essentially the way ITC missions work, for those of you who don't know, is at each turn, on your turn, if at the end of it you control an objective, you score a point. If you killed a unit on your turn, you score a point. At the end of a battle round, so round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, whoever killed more units gets a point, and whoever holds more objectives gets an additional point. There's also a bonus point. If you control all 4 objectives in this mission, you gain an additional point at the end of the battle round. So, or at the end of your turn. So it's kind of tough to get that bonus point, especially on this one. We have to control all 4, but you know, that is what it is. We also choose 3 secondary objectives for us to go with. So for my opponent has chosen Headhunter, which means that he'll score a secondary point for every character that he kills, up to 4 points. He also has chose Reaper, which means that every 20 models that he kills, he will score a point, up to 4. And he also chose Kingslayer on my Patriarch, because if he kills the Kingslayer, you get a point for every 2 wounds that you put on him, and if he's slain and he is by Warlord, he gets an additional point. So that would put him at the max of 4 points for that as well. I have chosen Recon, which is have a unit in each of the 4 quadrants of the board. I have also chosen Marked for Death. I marked his 2 tanks, his Leviathan, and his Ed Guilliman as my Marked for Death. I get a point for each of those that I kill. And I've also chosen Headhunter. So he's got the guy running the Thunderfire Cannon, his Calexis, his Tigurius, and the Dubro, what is he? The Tech Marine on a bike are also characters. So basically, if I can kill them, I will get a point for each of them that I killed. Also to note, my opponent spent the 2 CP to bring in the single assassin there with the Calexis. So you'll see the armies. I don't think we mentioned it in that one, so I'm just going to mention it now. That's what he did there. So that's the story. That is the mission. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 armies that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Genestealer Cult, I'll be running 3 battalion detachments. The first battalion detachment, a Cult of the 4-Armed Emperor detachment. I have a Patriarch and a Primus.
11. That's it?
We have 3 10-man Brood Brothers squads. Each squad has a grenade launcher. We have a Clamavis, a Nexos, and a Kellermorph. The 2nd Battalion Detachment will also be a Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor Battalion Detachment. It will also be a Deliverance Brood Surge Detachment. Leading it off, we have a Magos and an Acolyte Icon Ward. We have 3 squads of Acolytes. We have 2 10-man squads. 1 has all Hand Flamers. 1 has an Icon and 4 Heavy Rock Cutters. And we have a 20-man Acolyte squad with 5 Heavy Rock Saws and an Icon. We have a Killer Morph. We have 3 heavy weapons teams, all with mortars. And the 3rd Battalion Detachment, which will be Twisted Helix. It will also be a Vigilance Detachment of the Anointed Throng. Leading it off, we have a Patriarch, who will be my Warlord, with a Familiar and an Abominant. And we have 3 5-man Acolyte Hybrid squads. We have a Clamavis. And last but not least, we have 2 squads of Aberrants. We have 1 5-man squad with hammers, and we have 1 8-man squad with power picks, and a Hypermorph in that squad with a improvised heavy weapon. And then for the Ultramarines, he'll be running a Battalion Detachment. Leading off the detachment, we have Guilliman, we have a Tech Marine on a bike, and we have Tigerius. We have 3 5-man scout squads. 2 5-man squads have bolters and storm bolters on the sergeants. One of those has a heavy bolter in it. And then we have a 5-man squad with camo cloaks and sniper rifles. We have 2 3-man scout bike squads. Sergeants have storm bolters. We have 2 honor guards with power axes and bolters, and 2 Cicatrix guard. We have a Thunderfire cannon. We have a Leviathan Dreadnought with 2 storm cannon arrays and 2 heavy flamers. And last but not least, we have 2 Relic Sicaran Venator tank destroyers with las cannon sponsons, heavy bolter, and storm bolter. All right, so this is the armies going over deployment. I'm just blips right now. So underneath these blips, the ones on the table are the 3 heavy weapon squads. I've got my Nexos on the table. I've got, you can know all these. These are ones, yeah, I was holding his ear, but these are all the things that you know. You have to know what's on the table and what's in underground to start off with. So I've got the 3 heavy weapon squads are going to be on the table. The Nexos is going to be on the table. My 3 Brood Brothers squads are on the table. The 3 5-man Acolyte squads are on the table, as well as my Warlord Patriarch and the 2 Aberrant squads. Those are technically right now all underneath blips right here, or they're represented by blips. So that's going to be it for the deployment for Genestealer Cult. Going to deployment for the Ultramarines, we've got a screen of scouts over here. We've got his sniper scouts in the middle. We've got the 2 tanks. He's got his Thunderfire cannon. We've got the Cicatrix guard and the honor guard, Tigerius, Guilliman, the Calexis, the Leviathan, and the Tech Marine all here castling in the middle. And then holding out the flanks over here, we've got the 2 scout bike squads doing what they do best, which is move fast and hold the outer edges there. So that is deployment for the Ultramarines. Deployment for the Genestealer Cult. So as of right now, the Ultramarines are going to be going first, unless I can seize the initiative. So I've been debating on whether or not to do it. I think I'm going to leave it up to the dice to decide. If it shows up a 6, then it was meant to be. So here we go. Looking for a 6 to seize. No, I will not be seizing. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Ultramarines. All right, an easy movement phase for the Ultramarines. Nothing moved. He liked where he's at. He's really trying to gear himself up to get ready for to see where my guys come, which is, I mean, part of the benefit of being the Genestealer Cult is getting to leave that question in your opponent's mind. So, but yeah, he thinks that he's pretty good position here to kind of get some shots off this early round and then gear up for when my stuff really starts coming in, which is pretty good. So that's going to be a movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so the real Genestealer Cult deployment phase. I've got 2 of my heavy weapon squads are back over in here, along with 2 of my Brood Brother squads. I've got 2 of the Acolyte, 5-man Acolyte squads up here. The other Brood Brother squad is over here. Acolyte squad, Nexos, and another heavy weapon squad. I spent 1 CP to return the 2 Aberrant squads and the Patriarch back into Underground. So now we'll come back to you with the psychic phase for the Ultramarines. All right, so now Tigurius is going to be casting, because he's within range of the Calexis. The Calexis just says Psychers. It doesn't say specifically enemy Psychers, so it can actually affect your Psychers too. So he's going to be affected, Tigurius here. It's going to add 2 to the difficulty, really, of his tests here. So we're going to have the first one is going to be, what are you going to go for? Might of Heroes onto his Leviathan over here. Rolls a 7, which is not enough for it to go off, right?
Yeah, he can reroll.
But he can reroll because he's Tigurius. And on an 8, it will go off because it needs a 6 normally. All right, so into the shooting phase now. His Thunderfire Cannon is going to target my Acolyte squad over here. So he's going to have, what is it? It's 4D3 shots. So we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. All right, so he's going to be hitting on 3s. They don't need a line of sight. That's why he can fire them at them. All righty. Rerolling because of Guilliman. All right, so that's going to be all hits. Strength 5, so 3s to wound. All righty. Rerolling because of Guilliman. All right, not meant to be. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds. All right, so it's AP -1. I've got 3 guys that are out of cover over there. So it's going to be 3 6-ups. All right, so it's going to be 3 dead guys. And then the other 4 are going to be looking for 5-ups. Make 2 of them, but that's still enough to kill that squad. All right, so that is the end of the Ultramarines' turn here on turn 1. So you got kill 1 and hold 1. And that will be it for his turn. So we will come back to you after a movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. Movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. Pretty simple. These guys all stood still. They stood still. These guys advanced, got a 6 on their roll, which is great because it got them onto that objective over there. And these guys stayed still. At the end of the movement phase, I spent 1 CP for Return to the Shadows for one of the Brood Brothers squads over here to jump them back into basically underground. They'll be coming down at the end of next turn. So that is it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so we're going to start off with the first mortar squad over here firing into his scouts. So it's going to be 3d6 from that first squad shots. All right, so we're going to have 8, 9, 10, 11 shots. All right, these are going to be hitting on 4s. Ooh, pretty good there. These are now going to be strength 4, so looking for 4s to wound. Not so good there. 2 wounds, AP nothing, so 4-up saves. Making 1, failing 1. And then the second mortar squad is going to fire into the same scout squad over there. That's going to be 12, 13 shots. All right, so 13 shots hitting on 4s. All right. And then wounding on 4s. Okay, so we got another 3 wounds there. Failing 1 of them. And then my third mortar squad is going to fire into his scouts over here. Getting 8, 9, 10 shots. Hitting on 4s. Oh boy, not great so far. 2? Oh boy, wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds. 2 4-ups. Making 1, failing 1. All right, and that's going to be the end of the Genestealer Cult turn here. He cannot fail leadership over here because they're Ultramarines to get +1 leadership, so that Sergeant is leadership 9. Only lost 3 guys, so that means that they cannot fail. Which, at the end of my turn, I do hold an objective, but did not kill anything. And then at the end of the battle round, my opponent killed more with the 1 unit that he killed, and I hold more with this objective here, and then this objective here. So bringing us to a total of 3-2 after turn 1. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Ultramarines here on turn 2. All right, movement phase for the Ultramarines here on turn 2. These scouts pushed out over this way, and his tank moved out over this way. Over on the same of this side, same thing happened. Scouts pushed out there. Tank moved out over that way. Both staying within 6 inches of Guilliman there to get his rerolls, and everything else just stood still. Still awaiting the arrival of the main thrust of the Genestealer Cult force here. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so now he's going to cast Might of Heroes again over there. Getting a 5, which will not be successful there. Rerolling because of himself into a 10. That is successful. So Might of Heroes onto his Leviathan. So these scouts over here are going to fire into my acolytes over here. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 3s.
3 shots.
Oh, 3 shots because Stormbolter. So because he moved, he doesn't get the 2 shots. That's going to be 1 hit. That is a wound. AP nothing. So looking for a 5-up save. Yeah, with the filfers. Woo! All right, so his tank here is not going to fire everything into my dude bros over here. So his main gun is heavy 3, and then he's got 2 las cannons, all of which are going to be hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Guilliman, wounding on 2s, re-rolling because of Guilliman, and not getting any saves on my part here. So we're just going to roll them together here. So 5 shots, hitting on 3s. That's all hits. Wounding on 2s. Re-rolling because of Guilliman. Oh, 1 guy will be alive. And then the heavy bolter. Re-rolling because of Guilliman. That is going to be hits. Ooh, 1 second. All right, yeah, so those were all hits because it doesn't suffer the penalty. The whole model doesn't suffer the penalty for the heavy weapons when it moves, which is pretty cool. So now that's going to be 3 hits, looking for 3s to wound. Re-rolling because of Guilliman. That's going to be 3 wounds at AP -1, so 6 up saves. None, so he is dead. All right, so now the Thunderfire cannon is going to fire into my 10-man Brood Brother squad over here. So it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. Going to spend a command point to re-roll 1 of those into a 1. He rolled and he got it back, so he is still at 9 CP right now. So now there's going to be 5 shots here, hitting on 3s. That is going to be all hits, strength enough to make it wounding on 3s. So they're re-rolling because of Guilliman. All right, so that's going to be 5 wounds there. 5 AP -1, so 5 6-up saves. Making none of those. Bunch of 5s, but AP -1.
I'll shoot the same time.
All right, so now this guy is going to fire all his weapons into this squad back over here. So we're going to start with the what are we starting with? The heavy bolter. So 3 shots. That's going to be 3 hits, wounded on 3s. Re-rolling because of Guilliman. That is going to be 2 wounds, 6 ups, making neither. And here come all of the guns, so the main gun and the las cannons, because it doesn't make a difference. That is going to be all hits, wounding on 2s. That is all wounds. That is the rest of the squad. All right, and that is going to be the end of turn 2 here for the Ultramarines. My opponent did kill something and does hold something, so he gets his 2 points for that. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 2. All right, movement phase. The only ones that were on the table that moved were these guys. They advanced up here, getting onto the objective. And then I placed this guy 9 inches away from these guys, and I'm going to spend 3 CP to allow him to shoot into them. So I'm going to have 6 shots here. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All right, that's all hits, which means I get another 6 shots. Ooh, getting 2 misses there. So that's going to be a total of 10 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds at AP -1, so 5 ups. No, they will be dead. All right, so in the end, the rest of the movement phase here, these guys all dropped in here. These guys over here are 9 inches from his bike squad. These guys are 9 inches from his tank over here. This squad of 20 man is 9 inches away from his scout squad there. We've got the Icon Ward and the Clamavis over there. We've got the Magus, my Warlord Patriarch over here. We've got the 10-man Brood Brothers squad that came back in from the Shadows. We've got another Clamavis over here, the Abominant, the 2 Aberrant squads, and then one last one. I spent 2 CP to drop him over here, and because of the Nexos I rolled and I got one of those CP back over here, so he is more than 3 inches away from his bikes. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. Then at the when I dropped these guys over here, my opponent spent 2 CP to have these guys shoot, intercept me over here. So we're going to have the heavy bolter first. These are going to be hitting on 4s because it's -1 to hit. Those are all hits. Wounding on 3s. That is going to be 2 wounds. AP -1, so 2 6-up saves. No, then 6-up feel no pains because of the Acolyte Icon Ward. No, failed both of those. And then these guys are going to fire. These 2 are in rapid fire range. These guys are not. So we've got 2 from the Stormbolter, 1 from him, and then 2 rapid fire shots from them. 7 shots hitting on 4s. Alrighty, so that's going to be 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. Getting 4 wounds. We have 4 5-up armor saves. Making none of those. 6-up feel no pains. Making 2 of those. I'll take that.
Okay.
All right, so starting off the psychic phase now, my Magus is going to cast mind control onto his Leviathan, not Leviathan, I'm sorry, his, what's this thing called?
Okay.
The Cicatrix tank over here. So I need a 7 for this to go off. Does not go off the 6. I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll this. Into a 6, so that's going to be an 11. Do you want to try to deny it? I've got one other Psyker that can go with his. So he's going to try to deny it, looking for a 12. No, does not deny it. I will now get to shoot with him, as if it's my shooting phase. All right, so he's got a leadership of 8. I forgot I still need to do that. So I've got 3d6 now. I have to roll higher than 8 leadership. And that will be higher than 8. All right, so now we're going to fire his heavy bolter and storm bolter into the scouts. And I'm going to fire his 2 las cannons and the main gun into his Leviathan over there. So we're going to go with the heavy bolter first, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 3 hits. Strength 5, toughness 4, so looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 2 wounds at AP -1. That's going to be 2 dead. And then the storm bolter. That is going to be 4 hits. There's going to be no wounds.
If he hits me...
All right, so now we've got the main gun is going to fire into his Leviathan over here. It's 3 shots at strength 10, AP -4, and D6 damage apiece. So it's going to be hitting on 3s. That is going to be 2 hits. This is going to be strength 12, so wounding on 3s. That is going to be 1 wound, AP -4, but he's got a 4-up invul save, right? And he makes it. And then the 2 las cannon shots. That's going to be 2 hits. But he's tough 9 now because of Might of Heroes. So force to wound. That's 2 wounds. AP -3, so 4-up invul saves again. Makes both of those. And now my Patriarch is going to cast Might from Beyond onto my Aberrant squad over here. That is not going to go off. All right, so into the shooting phase, my Kellermorph is going to fire into his scout bikes over there. So we got 6 shots hitting on 2s. That is going to be all hits. So another 6 shots. That is all hits. So this is going to be 12 hits. Strength 4, toughness 5. So looking for 5s to wound. Getting 1, 2. Really? So that's 2 wounds. These are AP -1, so it's going to be 2 5-up saves. Makes 1, fails 1, but it's 2 damage apiece, so 1 bike is dead. All right, so now my mortar squad over here is going to fire into his scouts over there. So it's going to be 3d6 shots. That's going to be 12 shots. All right, so 12 shots hitting on 4s. That's pretty good. And then these are going to be wounding on 4s. That is not very good. 2 wounds. AP nothing. 2 4-up saves. Makes 1, fails 1. Then the other mortar squad. Second mortar squad is going to fire into them.
Still leadership 8.
Yeah, that's going to be 11 shots. Hitting on 4s. All right. So they're pretty good at hitting. Let's see if they can pack some punch, unlike their brothers. No, they are almost exactly like their brothers. 3 wounds there. Failing 2 of them, that's the rest of the squad. And the last one is going to fire into his tank over there because why not? May as well roll your dice. All right, 14 shots. And then 14 shots on 4s. Come back to you. And then 5s to wound. 4 wounds. So 3-up saves. Makes all but 1. All right, so now we're going into the assault phase. We're going to start with my Aberrants over here charging into his bikes. Because he can't see through the wall, only one guy can see him just around the corner over here. So he is going to have 6 shots, 4 shots from the twin bolters, plus 2 shots from his shotgun. So these are going to be into these guys over here.
They're tough 4, right?
They're tough 4, yes. So yeah, so here we go. So these are going to be looking for 6s to hit. Nope, no hit there. What's the reroll one?
Reroll 1, Guilliman, 12 inches.
12 inches of Guilliman is 1s. Rerolls 1s. Pretty good. All right, so no hits there. So they have +1 to charge because of the Abominant having the field commander from the Anointed Throng detachment, and +1 because of the Clamavis over here. So they need a 7-inch charge to get in over there. And on a 12, they're way in. All right, so now my bigger Aberrant squad is going to charge into his tank over here. So we're going to have, we'll do the main guns first. Oh, no. No, we need to do it. Oh, yeah, that should be fine. We should be able to do it all because it doesn't make a difference. No, we have to do it separate. Let's do the 3 shots from the main gun first on 6s. All right, re-rolling. All right, so that's going to be 1 hit, strength 12, so wounding on a 2. That is going to be a wound, AP enough to go through their armor, so it's D6 wounds. 1 wound, so that's going to be 1 5 up, ignoring. You're going to spend a CB to re-roll that? It's going to spend a CB to re-roll that. Into a 6, which becomes 5. So 5 ups. Only making 2 of them, so that's 1 guy dead. And then we've got the 2 las cannons. Re-rolling. No hits there. And then we've got the heavy stubber. That's 1 hit, re-rolling. 1 hit. The heavy, that's not going to wound, but re-rolling. That is going to wound. AP -1, so 6 up armor save. Nope. And then a 5 up, ignoring wounds. No, so 1 takes a wound. And then we got the storm bolter. Re-rolling. Nope. That is a wound. 5 up. 5 up. Making that one. All right, so they also need a 7-inch charge to get in over there because of the Abominant and the Clamavis. Not going to make it, but I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll this. Oh, still not enough. All right, so now my Abominant is going to charge into his tank over here. So we're going to fire Overwatch with the main gun first on 6s. Re-rolling because of Guilliman. That's 2 hits. Tough 5, so wounding on 2s. Re-rolling. So that's going to be 2 wounds. AP is going to go straight through. So because he failed his saves, I'm now going to try to pass him off onto the Brood Brother squad over here on 4 pluses. Failed both of those. Damage. There's going to be a total of 6 damage here. I've got 5 up, ignoring wounds. I need a bunch of these. Oh, and I make 4 of them. I'll take that. Woo! And now we got the las cannons. Re-rolling. No hits there. Then the heavy bolter. No hits. No hits. And then they got the storm bolter. No hits. Re-roll. No hits there. So he also needs a 7-inch charge to get in. And he's just in. All right, so now these guys are going to charge into his scouts over here. So they are going to overwatch. So we've got the same thing. We've got the 3 shots from the heavy bolter, 1 shot from him, 2 shots from him, and then 4 shots from those guys. So we're gonna go with the heavy bolter first. 6s. No hits there. We've got then we've got 7 shots over here. Getting 1 hit. Getting a wound. No save. 6 up, ignoring wounds. No, 1 more guy will be dead. So they are Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor, which gives them +1 to the charge. They've also got a Clamavis over here, so they're going to have +2 to the charge, and they can re-roll it because of his Field Commander trait. And that 8 becomes a 10. They are in. All right, so we're now into the fight phase. I've got 1 guy who can fight over here, the way I worked it out over here. So I've got the 1 guy with the heavy rock saw who's going to fight into his scout. So he's going to have 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's going to be 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. At AP -4, that's going to go straight through. All right, so now my aberrants over here are going to attack into his bikers. We've got 10 attacks from them, hitting on 4s. All right, so that's going to be 5 hits. Wounding on 2s because they're going to be strength 12 because of being twisted helix plus their hammers there. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. AP -3 on those 3 damage apiece. So they are going to be dead. And now my Abominant over here is going to attack in. He's got 3 attacks, hitting on 4s because of his hammer. That is going to be 2 hits. These are going to be strength 12, so looking for 3s to wound. Whoa. That is going to be 1 wound. AP minus... 1 second. All right, so it's AP -3. My opponent rolled a 1, so it goes through. D6 damage. 5 damage. All right, so his tank's going to attack back with 4 attacks. Getting 1 hit. Oh, re-rolling, though, because of Guilliman. Getting 2 hits. Strength. 6. Toughness. 1 second. So a T5, so 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. AP, nothing, so 5 up save. Making them both. Woo! All right, so all 4 of his guys get in over there, including the sergeant. So it's going to be 5 attacks coming in here. Hitting on 3s. That's all hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That is 4 wounds. 4 5-up armor saves. Failing them all. Oh no, made one of them. All right, so that is the end of the Genestealer Cult turn here on turn 2. I did kill something. I do hold something, giving me points there. On the morale phase, I should say I spent 2 CP to auto pass with these guys to hold them in combat over there. So they're going to do that. And I spent 2 CP to auto pass with them so that they're good to go over here. Oh, I forgot this guy's coming up over here. Auto pass over there so that we're all doing there. Then at the end of the battle round, I control 1, 2, 3 objectives, giving me hold more. I also killed, what is it? I killed 1, 2, 3 units, so that gives me kill more as well for that turn. So a pretty good turn for the Genestealer Cult there. So we'll see what happens. So now we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Ultramarines here on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Ultramarines here on turn 3. These guys circled up, looking on my Kellermorph over here. He fell back out of combat with my Abominant. Then his other tank moved around here. These guys stood still. These guys have all now started to move up over this way towards my different aberrant groups over there. And they are locked in combat over here because I managed to circle around him, which was it's like taking a hostage, they call it. And it was a skill that I was really looking forward to trying because I need to work it. It's one of those things that with my army it comes in really handy. So holding him in combat over there, and we'll see what happens with that. So that's going to be it for the movement phase for the Ultramarines. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so now into the psychic phase. Tigurius is going to smite into my aberrants over there, looking for a 7. Ooh, it's going to go off, so he perils. So he takes D3 mortal wounds. So he takes 2 mortal wounds, and then it does D6 mortal wounds onto my aberrants over there, doing 3 mortal wounds. So I'm going to have 3. 1 second. All right, so here come their 5-up ignoring wounds. I ignore one of them, so I take 2. And then he's going to cast Might of Heroes onto Guilliman. That's going to go off with an 8 because it needs a 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so into the shooting phase. Guilliman is going to shoot into my Abominant over here. So he's going to have 6 shots here, hitting on 2s. That's all hits. Strength 6, so looking for 5s to wound. 3s to wound. The other way I meant. All right, so that's going to be 6 wounds there. AP minus 2, so that's going to go straight through his armor of 5+. And then the damage though is 2 per, which gets reduced down to 1 per by the because of the Abominant there. So I've got 5-up ignoring wounds. AP minus 1. Okay, minus 1. So I've got 6 6-up armor saves. I make 1 of those, and then we've got 5-up ignoring wounds. And I ignore 2. Oh, I'm gonna. Oh no. All right, so these scouts are gonna fire their bolt pistols into him, into this guy's. So it's gonna get 1 hit, no wound. All right, now his scout bikers are gonna fire into my dude bro over here. So the sergeant has a storm bolter and a shotgun and the twin bolters on there that he's gonna fire into him. And then he's got the shotgun and the twin bolters. We're gonna fire all of it together because it's all got the same profile here. Hitting on 3s. Come back to that. And wounding on 3s. All right, so it's 6 wounds here. He's got 4 wounds. He's got a 5-up armor save in cover there, so he's got looking for 4-up saves. And he fails 1, 2, 3, so he's still alive. All right, his tank over here is now going to fire everything into my aberrants over there. So we're going to go with the 3 main guns first. That is going to be all hits. Wounded on 2s. That is going to be re-rolling because of Guilliman, so that's going to be 3 wounds there. It's going to go straight through the armor, so the damage 1 at a time, because they can take it. So it's going to be 3, makes it down to 2 5-up ignoring wounds. I ignore both of those, and then the next one, 4 down to 3, ignoring all of those, and the last one, 5 down to 4, keeps adding 1. No, I failed. And failed all of those. And now the last cannons. That's 2 hits. That is 2 wounds. AP is going to go straight through their armor. So the first one does 5. It's going to do 4 damage. 4 ignoring wounds. Nope, that's going to kill a guy. And then the next one does 1 damage. But it does 1 wound onto a guy. And then the heavy bolter. That's going to be 3 hits. That is going to be 2 wounds re-rolling. Still only 2 wounds. AP -1, so 6 up saves. Nope, that's not going to make it. And then 5 up ignoring. No, so that's the next guy. That's 2, so now 1 wound onto another guy. And then the 2 Stormbolter shots. That's 2 hits. That is 1 wound, re-rolling. That is still 1 wound. That is not a save on the armor. And that's not ignoring. All right, so his honor guard here are going to fire into my aberrants over there. We've got 4 shots from their bolters, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1, 2, 3 hits, re-rolling because of Guilliman. That is going to be 4 hits. These are going to be strength 4, toughness 4, so we're looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1, 2, 3 wounds, re-rolling because of Guilliman. Into 4 wounds there, not bad. AP nothing, right? So it's going to be 4 up saves because of armor there in cover. Okay, none of those. Ignoring wounds. But I ignored 2 of them, so 1's dead. All right, so now his Calexis here is going to fire into my Magus because he can target characters as long as they are Psychers. So he's going to have, what is it? D6 shots. He's going to spend a command point to do more damage onto Psychers over here. Does he get it back? He does not. Do I get one from him? I do not. So now here he goes. So that's going to be D6 shots, right? So 6 shots here. These are going to be hitting on 2s. Hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s because of Imperium from Guilliman there. So that's going to be all hits. Strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds.
At -5.
5 at AP -5 is just going to go straight through. So I'm going to try to pass those off onto the Dude Bros over into on the Brood Brothers squad over there. So 4 ups. I managed to pass off 1, so it doesn't matter how much damage they do. He did. Now his Thunderfire Cannon is going to fire into my Aberrants over there. He's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots. All right, so hitting on 3s. No rerolls because he's just outside of... rerolling 1s because he's within 12, but not within 6. So that's going to be 6 hits. Strength 4, so looking for strength 5, so 4s to wound. That is going... 3s to wound, sorry. 3s to wound. So that's going to be 5 wounds there. All right, so there's 5 wounds at -1, so looking for 6 up saves. Making 1 of those, and then 1 damage apiece, so ignoring wounds on a 5 up. Ignoring 3 of the 4.
Okay.
All right, so now his Tech Marine there is going to fire into them as well with 8 shots because of, what's he have? The Stormbolter and the bike there, so 8 shots. Rerolling because of Guilliman. That's all hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, 4s to wound. Rerolling because of Guilliman. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds there. These are going to have 5 up armor saves. Make 1 of those, and then 5 up ignoring wounds. Making 1 of those. Oh, so my opponent, when he did the Thunderfire Cannon onto these guys, he's going to spend the CP to have them be essentially half it makes them so that they can't move. They move half their movement speed, and then their charges are also halved as well. So it's right. Isn't that what it is? Yeah. So that's all right. It's fine. We're good for that. So, but now his guy here is going to be firing into them. So he's got 20 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s though because he moved. Rerolling because of Guilliman, but not 2s. Only 1s because 2s would have been hits before. All right, so that's going to be all but 3 hits. Pretty good, 17 hits. These are strength what?
7.
Strength 7, so looking for 3s to wound. Rerolling because of Guilliman. All right, so it's all but 2 there, so it's going to be 15 wounds. All right, so we just got 5 up ignoring wounds because they're AP -2. And they are way dead. So into the assault phase now, his honor guard are going to charge into my aberrants over here. So that's going to be well within their charge range there. And Guilliman's going to charge on in. All right, so that's going to be way in. And now his scout bikers here are going to charge into my Kellamorph. He's going to fire Overwatch. So 6 shots with his pistols, hitting on 6s. Getting 1 hit, and then getting another shot because of it being a hit. Nope, no hit there, so it's just the 1. Wounding on a 5. That's a wound, AP -1, 5 up save. No, so that's going to be a dead biker. And his charge is in. All right, so now Guilliman's going to start us off. He's going to have 7 attacks into my aberrants over here. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All right. One of those was already in there or something. All right, so these are going to be all hits there. Reroll. It was a 1-1, sorry. That's cocked. That one was cocked. That was the last one. Sorry. Yep, you're good. So that's going to be 7 hits. These are going to be strength 9. So looking for 2s to wound.
6s are mortals.
All right. So we got 1-1 there. Rerolling because of himself. So that's going to be 7 wounds with 1 mortal in there.
No, D3 mortal.
Oh, D3 mortal. 1 mortal there. So it's 7 wounds and AP minus enough, right?
So it's 3 damage each.
3 damage each. Cool. Okay. So it's going to be 3. So we got 1 mortal wound, 5 up, ignoring wounds. No. So that's going to be 1 down. 1 wound down.
14 damage.
And then we've got 14. Oh, no, because it's 3 damage apiece. 21 damage. That's 7. Oh, that's right. Reducing by 1, so it's 2. So it's going to be 14. So we got the first 6 here. Ignoring 2 of them. So he's going to have, that's going to be 5 wounds. I got 1 left. So another 6. Yeah, they're dead. And now his sergeant's going to attack over there with his 2 attacks. No hits there. All right, so now his scouts are going to start us off in the regular fight phase into these guys. 5 attacks, getting 4 hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 3 wounds. 5 up armor saves. Making 1 of them. All right, so my guys here are going to attack back. So we've got the 5. We're going to do the 5 heavy rock saws first. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of the icon there. All right. And then killing on 2s. Yeah, they are dead. Right. And now my Kellermorph is going to attack into his sergeant over there. 3 attacks on 3s. That is all hits. These are going to be wounding on 5s. Getting 1 wound. 4 up save. He's good. Alrighty, so that is going to be it for the Ultramarines here on turn 3. So we will. He did kill something, and he does hold something, so he is going to be good to go there. So now we will come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 3. All right, movement phase. These guys consolidated up onto there. Everyone back over here stood still. These guys came in from Deep Strike. These guys, both the Climavis and the Acolyte Icon Ward moved up here. He's still within 3 inches over here. He stayed where he was over there. They moved up over here. He dropped in and then spent 3 CP to get 4 inches closer to his guy over here. These guys dropped in here, spent 2 CP to drop in right behind him over there. He stayed still, and these guys just moved up over this way. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the when these guys dropped here, my opponent spent 2 CP to allow him to fire intercept over here. So here we go with the flamer first. It's going to get 3 hits, sorry. These are going to be strength 4, so looking for 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 5 up saves. Making neither of those, and then a plasma shot. And a bolt pistol. Plasma pistol and a bolt pistol. Plasma pistol hits, and it wounds. That's going to kill a guy. And then bolt pistol hits, also wounds, and I don't make the save. I should also mention I spent 1 CP to get back 4 guys here. I spent D6 guys back here, cult reinforcements for them. So I was at 0 CP, but when he spent that, I got those 2 CP, I got 1 back. So I'm at 1 CP right now. My opponent is at 4. All right, so into the psychic phase, he is going to cast Might from Beyond onto my Patriarch Warlord over here. So it's going to be looking for a 9 to go off because he's within range of the Calexis. Almost, but does not go off there. And then he's going to cast Mental Onslaught onto his Leviathan over here, looking for an 8 to go off. So close. All right, so into the shooting phase. My Kellermorph's going to start us off by firing his pistols into his sergeant over there. 6 shots hitting on 2s. That is going to be all but 2 hits, so it's going to be 4 more shots. All right, so it's going to be 7 hits. Wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds, AP minus 1, so 2 5 ups. 5 ups. Bikers don't get coverage of just being in. They have to be obstructed. Infantry only get on top there. Oh, and he is dead. And now my flamer guys here are going to fire into his Tech Marine gunner over there. So it's going to be 5d6 hits. Okay, so it's going to be 10, 14 hits. And wounding on 5s. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wounds? That's not bad. I'll take that. So he's got 8 2-up armor saves. Makes them all, of course. Yeah. All right, so they're going to fire their auto pistols into him. Alrighty. And then, what's that? Oh, no, it's wounds in the fight phase. Yeah. Because my Primus, when he dropped in, he nominated him as the target, so it's going to be wounds in the fight phase. But here we go. These are looking for toughness 7, so 6s to wound. Nothing. My mortars from here are going to fire into him because why not? That's going to be 10 shots. Hitting on 4s. Well, that's pretty good. But then wounding on 5s. Getting 1. And he makes a save. And then the other 2 are both going to fire into here, so we're just going to do it all together here. So that's going to be 10, 15, 16, 17 shots. Hitting on 4s. And then 5s to wound. 1 again. And he makes the save. And then my Brood Brothers over there are going to fire into his Leviathan. We'll go with the grenade launcher first. That is not a hit. And then 15 last shots. And wounding on 6s. Getting 1 wound. 2-up armor save. Oh, takes a wound. All right, so that's it for shooting phase. Into the assault phase, we're going to start with my Patriarch over here is going to charge into both the Leviathan and into his Calexis over here. He's got the Amulet of the Voidworm, so he cannot be fired Overwatch on. So he's got a 5-inch charge here, +1 because of the Clamavis over there. So he's just in, but in. So now my other Patriarch's going to charge into him. He's in. All right, so now this 10-man squad here is going to charge into this front guy over here. I think he can see the guys on the side over here, so he can fire Overwatch over here. So here comes the main guns first, because that doesn't make a difference on these guys for sure. That's got 1 hit. Rerolling the 1s there. And then wounding on that's going to kill a guy. And, oh no, he's got his, what's the damage? Because they do have a feel no pain. So 4 damage. Who knows? All 6s? No. All right, so that's going to be a dead guy there. And then we've got the heavy bolter coming in here. That's going to hit 2 hits. Pretty good. That's going to be 2 wounds. 6s. Nope, nothing there. And then 6s to save. To ignore wounds. Nope, nothing there. So it's going to be another 2 guys dead. And then the Storm Bolter. Yeah, you're in rapid. Rerolling those 1s. Getting 2 hits. That is 1 wound. Not a save. And not ignoring. So they need a 7-inch charge to get charging to this guy over here. And they're in. Oh, my mic disconnected. All right, so now we're going to start off the fight phase with my Patriarch over here attacking into his Dude Bro. These are going to be 8 attacks because of his Warlord trait and his relic. He's got the relic from the Twisted Helix relic. So here we go. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All right, that's going to be all hits. Wounding on 5s because he's strength 7, toughness 8. Rerolling all failed because of monstrous rending claws. Getting another wound there. So we've got 3 that are 6s. Those make a difference. They're all going to be 4-up invul saves regardless because this is AP -3, D3 damage. And these are going to be AP -6. Flat 3. So that's why we have to do a separate. So we'll do the first one first. Nope, fails that one. D3 damage. It's going to be 2 damage. And then we have 3 that are going to go into him over here. He fails 2 of them, so that's going to be an additional 6 damage. He's going to spend a CB to reroll one of those into a good. And then the Familiar is going to attack in because you got to roll your dice. That's going to be 1 hit. That is, and not a wound. And now my Patriarch is going to attack into the other Patriarch is going to attack into him, so he's going to have 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is all hits, wounding on 5s. Rerolling because of monstrous rending claws. Oh man, he did real good there. So these are going to be going, so we got the 2, we'll do 2, these are going to be D3 damage, makes both of those, and then we've got 3 that are straight 3 damage. And he makes one of them, so he takes 6 damage. He's down to 2 wounds.
Damage reroll.
So now, this squad is going to attack into this guy over here. We're going to go with the heavy rock cutters first. They are -1 to hit, which would make them 4 up ballistic skill. But Primus being within 9 inches of any squad gives them +1 to hit. So he's going to be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of the icon in the squad there. All right, rerolling those 1s. All right, that's pretty good. So these are going to be strength ×2, so strength 8, looking for 3s to wound. Rerolling 1s because this model is the chosen target for the Primus. Oh boy, just 2 of them there. Those are going to be AP -4. So that's just going to go straight through, D3 damage apiece. So that's going to be 2 damage, 4 damage. And now the other rest of the squad's going to attack in there, so they're going to be hitting on 2s with their rending claws. Rerolling 1s because of the icon. All right, so that's all hits. Strength 4, so looking for 5s to wound. Rerolling 1s. So that's going to be AP -4 because it's a rending claw, so it's going to be 1 wound there. And then 2 cultist knives. That's 2 hits. One's cocked. No wounds. All right, so now this squad's going to attack. We're going to put all the rock saws. 5 regular guys are going to go into here, and then everyone else is going to go into this guy over here. So we're going to go to the rock saws first. 10 attacks, hitting on 2s because of the Primus being within 9 inches of the squad. Rerolling 1s because of the icon. All right, 1 miss. These are strength ×2, so looking for 3s to wound. Ooh, that was a wound over there. So these are going to be AP -4. So these are just going to be, that's just going to be 10 damage. And then we got the regular guys into this one over here with the rending claws. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. It's all hits, wounding on 5s. That's going to be 2 at AP -1 into this guy. Well, -1. These are just -1, so these are going to be saves. And he makes 1, fails 1. And then we've got 4 cultist knife attacks, rerolling 1s, and then making 1 more regular save. Good. And then 10 guys are going to go into over here, rerolling that 1, and then these are looking for 5s. Rerolling 1s because that's the chosen target there. Oh man. All right, so these 2 are AP -4, and so it's just going to take 2 damage. And then 5 cultist knife attacks, rerolling 1s, and then 5s. Getting 2 regular saves. If he fails 1 of these, but he doesn't. All right, so now Calixtus is going to attack back over here. That is going to be re-rolling 1s because of Guilliman. These are strength 4, so 5s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. No armor saves allowed, so it's just going to be their 5-up, his 5-up invul saves. Making 1, failing 1. And now his Leviathan's going to attack with his 2 attacks, hitting on 4s into my Patriarch that's wounded. No hits there, but re-rolling because of Guilliman. Getting 2 hits. Strength 8, so 3s to wound. Rerolling because of Guilliman. That is going to be 2 wounds. AP, nothing, because he's just got his gun arms over there. So looking for his 4-up armor save. Making 1. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. I did kill something. I do hold something. And then at the end of the round, and I also have the bonus because I hold 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. I hold all the objectives for 1 point there for the bonus point. And then at the end of the battle round, I hold more, obviously if I hold all 4, but my opponent did kill more during that turn because I've left guys super close. Oh man, so close. So that is going to be it for the Genestealer Cult turn here. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Ultramarines. All right, movement phase here on turn 4 for his Ultramarines here. Both tanks fell out of combat over here. His Leviathan fell out of combat, but the Calixtus stayed in combat over here. Guilliman's moved up over this way, as did his Honor Guard, and the Cicatrix are moving up over this way. whatchamacallit, the Tech Marine on a bike here, healed up his Leviathan back up to 5, rolled a D6 and rolled a 6, which is pretty good. D3, sorry, rolled that, and then Tigurius is moving up this way as well. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. And now he is going to try to cast Null Zone. Need a 10 to go off. Does not go off with a 7. Rerolling because he's Tigurius. Does not go off on a 7. All right, so now he's going to cast, what was it again? Might of Heroes onto Guilliman over here. So he needs an 8 for that to go off. Does not get it with a 4. He can reroll twice in a turn?
He rolls all failed psychic.
You can reroll all failed psychic dice. Oh, cool. Tigurius is cool. On an 8, it does go off. So I'm going to try to deny that. So I need it to go off on, I need a 9 on the roll because it's -2 to deny the witch as well. Oh, I will with a double 6. Woo! All right, so the victory, no, these are the Honor Guard are going to fire their bolt guns into these guys. Rerolling because of Guilliman. That's all hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 4 wounds there. All right, so we've got 4 5-up saves. And I make 3 of them.
He's going to put bolt pistol.
Tigurius is going to shoot his bolt pistol into my Acolyte squad over there. No hits. Reroll. That is into a hit. That is not a wound. Rerolls into a wound. That is not a save. All right, so now his Leviathan here is going to fire his heavy flamers into these guys, and he's going to fire his the storm cannons rays into them. So we're going to go with the heavy flamers. So that's going to be, what is that? Was that
6?
2? But what was the
10?
2, 10. It's okay. All right, so these are heavy flamers, right? Yeah. So wounding on 3s. All righty. Rerolling because of Guilliman. So that's going to be 10 wounds. All right, so we have 4 guys that are out of cover over there. These are going to be looking for 6s because it's AP -1. Making none of those. The rest of these 6 are looking for 5-ups because of cover. Not enough to save them. So now he's going to have 20 shots into this squad over here. They're going to be hitting, it's -1 to hit because he fell back, and he's shooting with the Ultramarines tactics there, so it's -1 to hit for that. -1 to hit because he's moving with a heavy, and he's at the second profile there, so he's going to be hitting on 5s. All right, re-rolling. All right, getting 2 more hits there. Not bad at all, holy cow. These are now strength 8, right? 7, so still 2s to wound. All righty, and the AP on these are re-rolling. And what's the AP on these?
2.
2. So that's what? How many is that?
11.
11. All right. So now, who's going to shoot? I'm sorry. Guilliman is going to fire into these guys over here. So he's going to have 6 shots. These are going to be hitting on 2s. These are strength what? 6. So looking for 2s to wound. Re-rolling. AP
2.
-2. So that's just AP -1. So that's 6 wounds there. Looking for AP -1, so 6-up saves. Making 2 of them. So now his Tech Marine's going to fire his Stormbolter into them and his the bike into those guys. So we're going to go with the, which one's this one?
This is going to be
Stormbolter into the one guy over there. Re-rolling because of Guilliman. That's going to be 4 hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be re-rolling. That's going to be 4 wounds. 2 go through. He is dead. And now the bike into that guy. Re-rolling. All right. So that's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. Re-rolling. That's 3. Making none. They're dead. And now the Thunderfire Cannon is going to fire into my Kellermorph over here. So it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 shots. Hitting on 3s. 1 second. Rerolling 1s because he's within 12 inches of Guilliman. All right. These are now strength 4, so looking for strength 5, so 3s to wound. That is all wounds there, so that's going to be 6 wounds. AP -1, so he's still just going to have a 5-up save. Oh, man. Almost. The Honor Guard here are going to charge into my Neophytes over here. So they're going to fire Overwatch. We're going to go with the las guns and las pistol first. On 6s, so getting 3 hits. Looking for 5s to wound. 1 wound. 3-up save. No, 1 takes a wound. And then we've got the crack grenade. That's not going to hit. Never mind, they got 2-up armor saves, so they are good. So their charge distance is in. And then Guilliman's going to charge into my Patriarch over here, my Warlord one, or both of them. Doesn't make a difference, so use in. And then Tigurius is going to charge into this guy. And he's in. All right, so Guilliman's going to start us off. He's going to put 4 attacks into my Warlord Patriarch, 2 attacks into my other Patriarch. So we're going to do the 4 into him first, hitting on 2s. Rerolling because of himself. All right, so it's going to be 4 hits. Strength, 8, so 3s to wound. That's going to be 3 wounds.
4 wounds.
4 wounds there.
And D3 mortal wounds.
D3 mortal wounds. So it's going to be 2 mortal wounds and then 4 wounds. I'm going to take one of those wounds, one of those on my dude bro here. So it's going to be 3 saves to try to make here. 5 up invul saves, I'm sure.
And then, so wait, are you do 1 mortal wound on?
No, I'm going to do.
Okay,
so it's yeah.
1 goes away.
1 goes away. So it's 3 saves and then the mortal wounds.
Yeah, he takes 2 mortal wounds and then 3 saves.
All right, so I make 1 of the saves, and 2 of them are failed here. So I'm now going to be 1 second. All right, so these 2 failed saves, they're within 3 inches of my dude bros over here, so they're going to try to take the shots. And they managed to take those 2. So we'll take these 2 guys over here. And then, how many mortal wounds was it? And 2 mortal wounds. Try to pass them off too, why not? No, he's going to take those 2. And then he's going to have 2 into this other dude bro. Rerolling because of himself. That's 2 hits. Rerolling because of himself. That is going to be 1 wound. 1 5 up invul save. No, he's going to take 3 damage.
Hitting on 3.
So now Tigurius is going to attack in here, hitting on 3s. Rerolling because of Guilliman. That is going to be all hits. Strength what?
7.
7, so 3s to wound. Rerolling. So that's going to be 3 wounds there. AP 1, so 5 up invul or armor save. Making them all! Woo! And now his honor guard are going to attack into my neophytes. Hitting on 3s, rerolling. That's all hits. Wounding on 3s. That's going to be all wounds there. AP -2, so that's going to be 4 dead guys. All right, so now his Calexis is going to get to go. Rerolling 1s because of Imperium. So that's going to be all hits. Strength 5, so looking for strength 4, so 5s to wound. No wounds there. All right, so now we're going to go into the fight phase here with my guy. My warlord's going to attack into Guilliman. I'm going to have 8 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is going to be all hits. What's his toughness? Toughness 6, so I'm going to be wounding on 3s. Rerolling, no need to reroll. So we've got 2. He's going to have a 3 up invul save, right? So regardless, he's going to have his invul save. So we've got 2 that are 3 damage apiece. Makes them both. And then we got 6 that are D3. So 3 ups. Fails 1, 2, 3 of them. So 3 D3 damage. 1 second. All right, so my opponent's going to spend a CP to reroll. And he's good with that, so it's going to be 2 that are going to go through. Let me see if I get that CP back. If I get a CP from that. I do get a CP, so put me at 2. So now we're going to have 2 D3 damage. That's going to be, 6 damage. All right, so now my other Patriarch is going to attack into Guilliman as well. I'm going to put all 6 attacks into him, hitting on 2s. All right, so we got 4 hits. Strength, 1 second. All right, strength 6, toughness 6, so looking for 4s to wound. Rerolling because of monstrous rending claws. That is going to be all wounds. So we've got 1 that's straight up 3 damage. 3 up invul. He's good on that. And then 3 ups for D3. Makes all of those. And 4 attacks back over here from my neophytes. Getting 1 hit. No wound. All right, and that is it for the Ultramarines' turn here. He did kill something, and he does hold something, so he gets those 2 points there. So that's going to be it for them. We're going to come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 4. All right, movement phase. Everyone over here stayed still. They stayed still. They stayed still. He stayed still on the objective over there. He moved up here, so he's still on the objective, within 12 inches of them. These guys fell back out of combat over here. My Clamavis moved up over here, so he's within 6 inches of a whole bunch of dude bros over here. He advanced up onto the objective. He advanced not very far over to there, and that is and these guys stayed in combat. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. Oh, and also I spent 1 CP to give him back D3 wounds with a monstrous. What is it? Not no. hyper metabolism gives him back 1 wound over here, back up to 6, and I got back 2 guys on here because of cult reinforcements for that. So putting me back down to 0 CP, but hopefully it'll be enough. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so now my Patriarch's going to start us off by casting Mental Onslaught onto his tank over there, needing an 8 to go off because it's +2 or -2 from the roll by the Calexis. That is not going to go off. And then he's going to give Might from Beyond to my Patriarch, onto my Warlord there. That will not go off as well. All right, so now my Clamavis, he's within 6 inches of this guy, these guys, this guy, this guy, this guy, and all of these guys over here. At the beginning of the shooting phase, we roll a d6 for each of them, and on a 6, it does a mortal wound. So, onto him first. No mortal wound. Onto him. No mortal wound. Onto him. No mortal wound. Onto them. No mortal wound. Onto Guilliman. No mortal wound. Onto Tigurius. No mortal wound. And onto the Calexis. No mortal wound. All right, so one of the mortar squads is going to fire into his tank over here. They're going to have 11, 12, 13, 14 shots. All right, so hitting on 4s and wounding on 5s. Getting 1, 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves. Makes them both. And the second mortar squad over there is going to fire. Getting 14 shots again. All right, so 14 shots hitting on 4s. And then 5s. 1. Oh boy, 1 3-up. Oh, he's good. And the last mortar squad's going to fire into him. That's going to be 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 shots. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds, 2 3-ups. Failed 1. Oh, he is going to be dead. Does he explode? No. And now my Keller Morpheer is going to fire into his tank over here. So 6 shots hitting on 2s. That is all hits. So I have another 6 shots here. That is all hits. These are strength 4, toughness 7, looking for 5s to wound. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds at AP -1. So 4 shots. Oh yeah. Here we go. 4 ups. Oh, he failed 4 of them. So he is going to be dead as well. Does he explode? He does not. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, we're going to start with my Warlord Patriarch into Guilliman over here. So it's going to be 8 attacks, hitting on 2s. Oh boy, 2 misses here. These are going to be wounding on 3s. Re-rolling because of monstrous rending claws. All right, so we've got 2 that are straight up 3s, and then 4 that are going to be whatever. So we'll do the 2 3-ups. Failed them both. So he is going to be dead. Oh, man. All right, so the Honor Guard over here are going to try to intercept these. They've got 4 wounds between them, so 4 2-ups. And they are going to be dead, but he is going to have 1 wound left. And then we have 4 more saves to make over here onto the other ones that were coming through. So 4 more 3-up saves. Oh, and he failed that, so he is going to be dead. Now Tigurius is going to activate and go into my my Patriarch over here. Hitting on 3s, no rerolls because Guilliman is dead for now. That's no wound there. And then my guy here is going to put all his attacks into Tigurius, hitting on 2s. It's all hits. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling. Does he have an invul save? He does not, so that's going to be AP -6 and 3 damage. He's dead. And now the Calexis is going to swing back. He's going to have 3 hits, no wounds. All right, so at the end of the phase, Guilliman will go on a 4-up coming back. Oh, he's back. He gets D6 wounds back. 1 wound back. He's going to spend his last command point on that one to 4 wounds back. All right, so the end of the turn there for the Genestealer Cult. I did kill something, I do hold something, and I get the bonus. And on top of that, I got a couple headhunter points We tied on kill more, but I do hold more, so I got another point there. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Ultramarines here on turn 5? Is it turn 5? Turn 5. All right, so movement phase. Guilliman stayed where he was. He moved up a little bit over here. He stayed still. He fell back out of combat over there. These guys moved up towards here, and he stayed still. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. He's going to try to heal him up over there, or is going to heal him up. Another 2 wounds. Leviathan's going to start us off by putting his heavy flamers into my brood brothers over here, and he's going to put 1 storm cannon into each of my my patriarchs over here. So we're going to go with the storm cannon first, the heavy flamers. So it's going to be 3 hits, wounding on 3s. Rerolling. That's going to be 3 at AP -1. So we got 3 6-up saves. And I make 2 of them. So now the storm cannon is going to fire into my dude bro over here, hitting on 3s. Rerolling because of Guilliman. And 3s to wound. Rerolling because of Guilliman. All right, so now my patriarch is going to have 8 saves to make here. He's the one with the amulet of the void worm, so he's going to have 4-up armor saves, or 4-up invul saves. Oh yeah, he is. No, I'm gonna let him die. All right, so now he's gonna fire his other storm cannon array into these guys because he had originally wanted to put it into the 2 patriarchs, but then we realized that this patriarch is actually he's actually closer to my brood brothers over here. We thought because everyone else is a character over here that that was the issue, but it turns out that these guys are a little bit closer than him. So we're gonna put the shots into those brood brothers because neither of us caught it. That just seems like the fairest thing to do. So here we go. 10 shots hitting on 3s. Rerolling because of Guilliman. And wounded on 2s. Yeah, they're dead. All right, so the Tech Marine is now going to fire into my Clamavis over here, hitting on 3s, rerolling because of Guilliman over there. All right, all but 1. These are now strength 4, toughness 3, 3s to wound. That is rerolling because of Guilliman. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds there. AP nothing, so 6 5-up saves. Making 3 of them.
3 left.
The Thunderfire Cannon is now going to shoot into my Clamavis over here. So he's going to have 4d3 shots. So it's going to be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, 9 shots hitting on 3s. Is he within? I don't think he's within anything over there of Guilliman. And these are now strength 4, so looking for 3s to wound.
Strength 5.
Strength 5, so still 3s to wound. So that's going to be 5 wounds.
-1.
AP -1, so we got 5 6-up saves. No, he's dead. And now Guilliman's going to fire into my patriarch over here. 2s, and then strength.
6.
So 5s to wound. That is going to be rerolling because of himself. That is going to be 3 wounds. AP -1, so looking for 5-up invul save. No, 2 damage each. He's is there anything I can do? 1 second. There ain't nothing I can do about that. Oh. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, the Cicatrix Guard are going to charge into my dude bro over here. I'm going to fire Overwatch. Not getting a hit. Their charge distance. Oh, look, it's in. And the whatchamacallit, the Tech Marine is going to charge in. I think that should be enough. All right, so starting in the fight phase is Tech Marine here with the Teeth of Terra relic is going to attack into my Primus over here. So he's going to have D3 additional attacks, so +1 attack. So it's going to have, what is it? 4 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Guilliman within 12 inches. Reroll that 1. All right, so that's going to be all hits. Strength. Oop, 1 second. All right, so these are going to be strength 5. So looking for 3s to wound. AP -2, 2 damage apiece. He is dead. All right, so that's the end of his turn. At the end of his turn, he does hold 1, and he did kill 1, so he gets those points there. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, movement phase. Everyone over here stood still, stayed still. He moved up a bit to get into range of them, and he moved up over this way to get in range of them for that. So that's going to be the end of the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. Shooting phase, he's going to do mortal wounds to these 3 squads here. So we'll do the Cicatrix Guard on a 6. No. Onto his biker dude. No. And onto the Leviathan. No. So now the mortar squad, first mortar squad is going to fire into his his Tech Marine over there on the bike, are looking for D6 shots each here. So that's going to be 10 shots. Hitting on 4s. And then wounding on 5s. Getting 1 wound. 1, 2 up save, he's good. Second one's gonna go into him. Second squad over there. No. Hitting on 4s. Alrighty, that's not bad. And then wounding on 5s. There we go, 3 wounds. Saves. No, fails 2. He's gonna try to pass them off onto the Cicatrix guard. One of them does, so he takes 1 and they take 1. All right, and the last mortar squad is going to go into the Tech Marine. They're equidistant with the Cicatrix guard there, so I'm going to elect the Tech Marine. So that's going to be 11 shot. Hitting on 4s. All right, here we go. Looking for 5s to wound. Whoa, come back here. 5s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. Fails 1. And he's going to fire his pistol into him. Why not? That's, ooh. Yeah, that's a hit. So here we go. Wounding. Not a wound though. And now this dude bro is gonna fire into Guilliman over here. 6 shots, hitting on 2s. Gonna get 5 more shots coming in here on 2s. All right, so that's a bunch of hits there. These are now going to be wounding on 5s. Getting 1, 2 wounds, AP -1. So he's got his 3 up invul saves. Makes them both. So that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, he is going to charge into the dude bro on the bike. So we're gonna have Overwatch coming in here. So we've got the, 4 shots from the Stormbolter, 4 shots from the bike. Getting 1 hit. And is he within 6 or no?
12.
12, so he just gets the 1s to reroll. So it's gonna be 1 hit. Wounding on a 3, that's a wound. That is a serve. And his charge distance is in. So they heroically intervened over here, so I'm going to attack into his biker to start us off here. 3 attacks on 3s. All hits. I need that roll to wound. Wow. So now his Cicatrix guard are going to start off here by attacking into me here. So we've got 4 attacks each, so we've got 8 attacks. They are within 6 inches of Guilliman. So they're going to be hitting on 3s. Re-rolling. Wounding on 3s. No need to re-roll because it's AP -3, right? Okay. So that is dead. All right, so that's the end of the turn here for the Genestealer Cult. I do not kill anything, but I do hold an objective, so I got a point for that. At the end of the battle round, my opponent killed more than me, but I hold more than he does. So that is going to be it for the turn 5 here. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Ultramarines on turn 6. Movement phase for the Ultramarines. His Colexus moved up over here. Cicatrix guard kind of moved up over this way. He moved up around this way looking on that guy. He moved back over this way to get line of sight on that guy. He stood still and Guilliman moved back over this way. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so we're going to start off shooting with his Leviathan here, who's going to fire one of his storm cannon arrays into my Kellermorph, and then one of my storm cannon arrays into my dude bro over there. So we're going to start with the ones into my Kellermorph. So he's going to have 10 shots here, hitting on 4s because he moved, but getting to re-roll 1s and 2s because of Guilliman being within range of him. Pretty good there. These are all going to be wounding on 2s. Alrighty, so that's going to be how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 5-up invul saves to make here. No, not even close. I made none. I made none. And he's going to have 10 into the guy over there. Okay, re-rolling 1s and 2s, which was all the misses. Alrighty, so these are now going to be wounding on 2s. And these are AP minus what?
2.
AP minus 2, so it's going to go straight through their armor. These are 2 damage apiece. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14, 6 up, ignoring wounds. Oh, look, he did. And his Thunderfire is going to fire into my 5 acolytes over here. So that's going to be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. 9 shots hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Guilliman, or is he within 6? 1 second. He is within 6, so here we go, rerolling everything. Okay, these are now strength 5, so 3s to wound. Rerolling because of Guilliman. All right, so that's going to be 2, 4, 6 at -1. So 6 up saves. Made, only one of them. They're dead. And that's going to be it for the turn here for the Ultramarines. They do hold something and did kill something. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, movement phase. This mortar squad advanced onto the objective over here. Now, my other 2 mortar squads are going to go into the shooting phase and fire into his tech marine over there. I'm going to fire both of them because it's the only one that matters, really. So we're going to get 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 shots. All right, so now we're going to find he's going to be hitting on 4s and wounding on 5s. Getting just 2 wounds there, 2 up saves. He makes both of those. So that is going to be the end of the turn. I do hold an objective, did not kill anything. My opponent killed more than I did, but we both hold 1 objective, so no one gets hold more. So we will add up the points and we'll come back to you with that. All right, so we've added up the scores, and at the end of 6 rounds of combat on here, the Genestealer Cult have 25 points. The Ultramarines, 28 points. Oh man, that was a close match. There were a couple times that things just like swung super heavy, like when I was making like super saves on my Patriarch, or when I left like 3 of those major targets with like 1 or 2 wounds left. Oh man, super fun, super awesome, and just like a really, really good time had by all. So it was a good game. It was a ton of fun, a real thinker. I think both of us probably have headaches now after thinking so hard on all of that through the whole game. But that's really what you get when you get these like really, really tight, really strong like tournament lists that you can just throw at each other's face and just have like a really awesome time playing the game and throwing it down. I mean, an ATC, if I could pull off, only lose by 3 points, that's pretty good for ATC to keep it that tight. If you're gonna lose by that tight of a margin for ATC with the team tournaments, but who knows? We'll see what happens. I feel good about the list, so we'll see how this goes going forward with it. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Greg, and until next time, have fun.